if we have got lost a few times, you know, one race we just ended up on, you know, Gary's magical mystery tour. Like, we just went the long way around everywhere, and we had heaps of fun and we laughed about it. And after the race, we sat down and we looked at, you know, what went wrong. But at the time, we just enjoyed where we were, and that's the beauty of adventure racing. I was first attracted to adventure racing by just being in the bush and in the environment, and being able to put together a whole heap of skills that you've gathered from other sports into an off-road environment, which and it just, I suppose, the toughness of it as well.
Just to really challenge yourself too. You know, like we've both come from triathlon road, you know, type of racing to more of a challenge. You know, get out in the bush, having to navigate. You got to think more. It's not just flat out to the finish line. It's quite a tactical race. What makes a good race partner for me is someone that's on the same page. You know, they're up for every race. They want to do every race. And also just someone you get along with, sort of similar abilities, and you know, you just got to be sort of together with it all. You know, not someone that's wanting to win every race and someone that doesn't really care, or you know, not people that are, you know, they've sort of got individual goals rather than the team.
A good partner is one as a female where it's always a little bit tougher racing with the guys in the same team. So I find you've got to have guys that, you know, they're willing to go hard and they push you, but they still understand how you're feeling, so you don't feel threatened. You feel supported, encouraged, and they respect you as an athlete as well. I find that really helps. Well, in adventure racing, in most events, you normally have someone who is the navigator for the team, and even though once the race starts, they're the one in charge, they're the one in control with the map. About an hour before your race, you get your map and you sit down together with the navigator, and you, as a team, you plan your strategy. And the navigator will always take control of that, but as someone who works with the navigator, you also have to know what's going on. You can't just sort of go off and do something else while they're looking at the maps.
Yeah, very much a team effort at the start. You know, you plan the course together, discuss routes, round mountains, over the top. You know, is this going to be a shorter route? What checkpoints do we drop if you've got to get only a certain amount? That's all together, and then really as the navigator, it's only their job is to navigate the course that the team has plotted. So, the sort of emotions I go through during a race is, obviously at the start you're very excited, and for me usually I make a mistake straight away because there's lots of people around. So then it gets a bit frantic because you're trying to catch back up and stuff. And then, you know, as you're sort of out on your own, you know, you might miss a checkpoint or take a while to find one. You get a little bit down on yourself, and you know, but then you're always relying on your teammate. You know, don't worry about it. Come on, it's all good. You know, we're still going well, and you know, so it's a sort of you do have highs and lows. But as we've got more experience, especially in the shorter races, we don't have so many lows. It's all pretty good.
And I think there is an understanding in a team that you are going to go through those highs and lows. That even though you will have some highs, you do actually have to think about and plan for, well, what are you going to do if something happens that doesn't go your way? And if you've planned for it and you've thought about it beforehand, you just naturally overcome anything that sort of doesn't go right. And you know, we often, if we have got lost a few times, you know, one race we just ended up on, you know, Gary's magical mystery tour. Like, we just went the long way around everywhere, and we had heaps of fun and we laughed about it. And after the race, we sat down and we looked at, you know, what went wrong. But at the time, we just enjoyed where we were, and that's the beauty of adventure racing. To me, adventure racing is just something that you can do as a part of your life. It's not something that you physically have to just go out and train for all the time, even though you do, but you do it because you love it and you don't feel like it's a burden, or that you're not doing things you don't want to do. You're going out into the most beautiful bush and you're riding your bike up these hills, and then you're enjoying riding down them. You're going out and paddling in the beautiful ocean, and you just get the most of everything, and you just want to keep getting up and just, we go out all day sometimes and just be out there, and you're away from cars, you're away from traffic, you're away from the hustle and bustle, and that's your training, and it's a lifestyle.
And Gary?
Yeah, for me, adventure racing's probably pretty much what it says. You know, it's an adventure, and it's with friends. You're not out there on your own, and also having a family. For me, it's a family destination. You know, you might race one day, but you know, the other 2 days, one day either side, you're spending time with your family, generally in some pretty beautiful spots. Mountain Design has been a great sponsor of ours, and I'm really happy to be associated with them because they sponsored the first adventure race in Australia, and now they're still involved with a multinational series. So they've been a great sponsor of adventure racing. They're more of a bonus for us because I'd do it anyway. But look, it's great to have their support, and it's great to be involved in the development side of it as well, so we can bring better products that we can use onto the market.
We've had an opportunity to test some of the gear that Mountain Designs have produced, and we can do a race, use the gear in a race, and then give them feedback as to how to make that product better for other people that are going to be going into a store and buying stuff. And especially in the long events, you need to make sure that the gear that you're wearing is comfortable, that you're not going to get chafing, that it's not going to fall apart, that you can move around in it for without having to change all the time. And that's a big thing to actually get your athletes who are out there testing out the gear, because I don't think everyone does that.
The guys from Into Adventure, Simon and Robin, they're the guys that head up the ARA race series around Australia, and they seem to be the most technically advanced. They have electronic timing. They put a lot of effort into their courses, placement of checkpoints, to make it interesting for people. They do a really professional job. I think they are the best directors in Australia currently.
The quality of the maps that they've provided for some of our most recent courses have been really good, and I think probably better for people that are first starting out into adventure racing. The tracks are there, the maps do mean something, and they're easy to read, whereas sometimes if you haven't had a lot of experience in reading maps, it can be very difficult. So I think they make an effort to give a really good introduction to the sport as well, if you haven't had much experience with maps.